Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Strat-O-Matic Baseball. We are continuing our 1951 Brooklyn Dodger replay using the PC version of Strat-O-Matic Baseball. And today, the Dodgers head back to Wrigley Field after they took Game 1 of this three-game set by a score of 3-0. They'll look to avenge a 14-4 loss in the actual game that was played. As we take a look on the right-hand side of the screen, we see that the Cubs blasted the Dodgers on Wednesday, May 16th, 1951, by a score of 14-4. Although the Dodgers did pound out 10 hits, they were paced by Gil Hodges, who had 2. They surrendered 13 hits and gave up 14 runs. Didn't commit an error on the day, so let's scroll down and take a look at the pitching and see what just happened. As Erskine, we see, dropped to 1-4 on the season. He went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, all of which were earned. He walked 2, gave up a home run, didn't strike out anybody. And then Mosser came in. He finished off the first inning, but again, he struggled to get outs or to get guys out. Gave up a hit, walked 3 guys, gave up 3 runs, all of which were earned. He gave up a long ball. And then Hatton and Bankhead finished out the game, and they both surrendered multiple runs, as Hatton gave up 5 hits over 5 innings, and Bankhead gave up 4 hits, 4 runs over 2 innings. So hopefully, in our replay, the Dodgers have better luck. As we take a look on the left-hand side of the screen now, the Dodgers come in with a record of 16-9. The Cubs 9-16. They're on opposite ends of the standings here early on. We see that Carl Erskine gets the start. Just like in 1951, he is struggling in our replay as he's pitched to the tune of a 4.26 ERA and a 1-2 record. On the other side of things, the lefty for the Cubs, Minner, is 1-3 with a 4.06 ERA. So an opportunity for some runs to be scored today from both clubs, as both pitchers are struggling out of the gates. Fortunately for the Dodgers, Erskine has struck out several batters. In his 5 starts, he's struck out 17. He's walked 11. He's only intentionally walked 3. As we head out to Wrigley Field for this afternoon's game, as Paul Minner sprints out onto the field, he'll take the bump, and he'll face Tommy Brown, who's getting a rare start for the Dodgers this afternoon. And we are underway. And Brown flies out to right. That's Bumholtz. And we're underway here at Wrigley Field. The Dodgers looking to continue their hot streak as Wee Reese gets a 1-out single. That'll bring up Duke Snider. Snider on the season is hitting a pedestrian 224 as he will face the lefty, Minner. And he pops out to second. There's 2 away. And now it's Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson digs in. He's hitting .400 against lefties. He's hitting .364 on the season. And the pitch on the way. Ground out to short. Quick work of the Dodgers in the top of the first. They get the 1 single, but can't do anything with it. And after a half inning, they have not scored. And the Cubs will come to bat for the first time as Wayne Terwilliger digs in. 165 average, and he hits this one sharply out to Robinson at second. Robinson a 2.8 in 1951 fielding-wise, so he's going to probably get to it. And then we'll see if he can make the play. Doesn't make a lot of errors either. Very good defensive player in 1951. And it's a routine 4-3, although Terwilliger did hit it sharply, and he is retired. So 1 away, it's Randy Jackson, 281 on the season, and he strikes out. And I'll bring up Frank Bumholtz, his 99th at-bat of the season. And he's hitting to the tune of 316. Bumholtz hits this one sharply to the right side. It's Hodges now with a 113 fielder rating at first base in 1951. He's going to get to it. It's a matter of, can he make the play? Excellent range over there for Hodges at first. And he does make the play. Cubs retired in order. So Erskine sits him down in the first. We head to the second, no score. As Gil Hodges steps in. Hodges hitting .304 against lefties. He's hitting .260 though on the season. And this is skied to right. That's Bumholtz out there, .310. Doesn't cover the most ground. So there's an opportunity for a base hit. He does get to it on this one, though. Now it's the question of can he field it cleanly. And he does. Hodges is retired. One away here in the second. As Ferrillo steps in. 267 on our replay. And he grounds out to first. That's DeFondi making an easy routine play. And it'll be Roy Campanella with 2 outs. A .410 average so far this season for Campanella. And if we take a look, he's hitting .550 against left-handed pitching. So he's dominated left-handed pitching so far. As he hits this one sharply to short, that's Jack Cusick. Probably going to get to it. It's a matter of making the play as he's got that E rating of 40. So naturally he does get to the baseball. Very good range for Cusick there at short. And it's a routine play, or at least he makes it look routine. Campanella retired. So the Dodgers go in order in the second. And it'll be Hank Sauer, Andy Pafko, and DeFondi to lead off for the Cubs. As Sauer skies this one to center. That's Duke Snider out there. Very reliable center fielder. And very rangy. As Snider gets underneath it. And Sauer is retired, 1 away. It'll be Pafko now, 242 in our replay, 255 and 51. And he hits this one sharply over to Hodges. So they're squaring Erskine up, at least early. As this is the third or fourth X chance. As Hodges is going to field it, naturally with that 1 rating at first. And he takes it to the bag himself, so 2 outs, and it'll be DeFondi. And Fondi draws a 2-out walk, so he'll stand on for Smokey Burgess, the catcher. Burgess only 7 at-bats in our replay, and he has yet to get a hit. And he draws a 2-out walk. So the Cubs threatening here, 2 on, 2 outs after the 2 2-out walks. And Cusick steps in. 102 in our replay. He's going to drop that average even more as Erskine strikes him out to end the second after 2 were scoreless. It'll be Cox, Erskine, and then the top of the lineup, Tommy Brown. As we watch Cox pop out to short, Erskine digs in. And Erskine's got an extra base hit. Hit it out to center field. And we are going to hold Erskine at second. No need to make Carl work any harder than he has to as he stands on with a stand-up double. It'll be Tommy Brown now. And Brown lines sharply to short. So 2 away for Wee Reese. And Reese gets a double. Erskine scores. Dodgers on the board here in the third. So 2 doubles in the inning. 1 by Erskine, 1 by Reese. And the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead as Snider steps in. Snider's got a base hit. And Reese going to be waved around with 2 outs. Going to be aggressive. And we're going to try to advance Snider. They're going to let the run score. They're going to try to get Snider, and he does get nailed at second, but the Dodgers get their second run of the ball game before Snider gets nailed at second. And after 2.5, Dodgers lead it 2-0 as Paul Minner will lead things off, trying to help his cause. He grounds out to Hodges at first, and they turn the lineup over. It'll be Terwilliger. Grounded out in the first, flied out here in the third, and now Randy Jackson will look for the Cubs' first hit of the afternoon. And instead, he grounds out weakly to Wee Reese. So after 1/3 of the game, or 3 innings, Dodgers lead it 2-0. As Robinson steps in. Robinson hitting .360, and he's got a base hit. He's going to look to stretch it, and Robinson, with that patented hard round at first, is going to attempt to go to second. Ball coming in, and Robinson beats the ball in from Pafko, and he's safe. And a leadoff double for Robinson. So the Dodgers looking to extend the lead here in the fourth as they lead 2-0. Hodges singles, Robinson scores, and it's 3-0. Hodges standing on at first. We're going to see if he can get the jump. He does not. And it'll be Ferrillo who digs in. He's hitting .264 in our replay. That's roughly 30 points under his 1951 average. Cubs playing the corners in. Furillo hits lefties pretty good, as we see. Take a look at the stats. Furillo hitting just 259 against lefties in our replay right now. That's actually 10 points below what he's hitting against righties. But we'll let Furillo swing away. And he pops to second, so there's one out. What we didn't want to do is steal and then, or we didn't want to bunt and then have him walk Campanella. So we want to keep the bat in Campanella's hands. And he lets us down as he strikes out there. So 2 outs. Hodges still on at first. And Billy Cox digs in. 320 in our replay. He strikes out. So Reese gets the double. And Hodges the RBI single, but then Hodges gets stranded at first. After 3.5, Dodgers lead at 3-0 as Bumholtz steps in for his second turn. He gets the Cubs' first hit of the afternoon. So he'll stand on at first. It'll be Hank Sauer now. And Sauer skies one to Brown and left. He's retired. Bumholtz still on at first for Pafko with 1 out. He grounds out to short. Reese starts the double play. Reese, Robinson, and Hodges. And that is how the inning's going to end. After 4, Dodgers lead at 3-0. As Erskine will lead things off. He doubled off Minner back in the 3rd. This time he grounds weakly to short. And he's retired. So it'll be Tommy Brown. His 3rd at bat. He's flew out. He's lined out. And he's singled now. So Tommy Brown picks up a 1-out single here in the 5th. See if he can't get the jump. Also a big opportunity for him to get thrown out. He's running, and he is thrown out. Well, getting picked off, but he gets caught stealing regardless. So 2 away after Brown gets caught stealing by Smokey Burgess. And Pee Wee Reese steps in. He's singled, and he's doubled. And he's got another base hit. Pafko trying to get it in. Reese, can he stretch it? He's going to try to stretch it. Pafko's throw coming in. And Reese is in there with a 2-out double. So Pee Wee Reese stands on at second. It'll be Duke Snider. 229 in our replay. 277 overall in 51. He's got 3 bombs so far. Could really bust this one open even if he could come up with an RBI single here. So the pitch on the way to Snider. He flies out to Bumholtz and right, inning over. Damage avoided for Paul Minner and the Cubs. And after 4.5, it's still Brooklyn up 3-0. As D. Fondy will lead things off for the Cubs. And Fondy strikes out, 1 away. Smokey Burgess. There's a next chance as a sharply hit ball to Pee Wee Reese at short. Reese ranges up the middle. He gets to it. Can he make the good throw to get Burgess at first? He does. So good play by Reese up the middle to get Burgess. And that will be the second out of the inning as Jack Cusick now digs in. And he has dropped the average to 100. 60 at bats. He's hitting just 100 in our replay. And that's going to fall even lower as he flies out to Snider in center. 5th inning over, and the Dodgers still lead at 3-0 as Robinson steps in for his 3rd at bat. 1 for 2. And he hits this one sharply back up the middle. As Paul Minner there, can he get to it is the first question. Pretty good reaction time. He's got a 2.7 rating. He does knock it down. Can they get the out? As Robinson motoring towards first. And just in time, Minner knocked it down, was able to grab it, toss it over to Fondy at first. They retire Robinson here in the 6th, 1 away, as Hodges digs in. Hodges draws the walk. Naturally, we're going to take a look to see if he can get the jump. He does not, so he'll stand on at first for Furillo. And Furillo grounds into the 6-4-3 double play. Nice play by Cusick to get it started. And the Dodgers are retired in the 6th, but they still lead at 3-0. As Paul Minner is set to lead off, and he will swing away, and he hits it sharply right at Robinson, who didn't have to move. So Minner's retired. Wayne Terwilliger for his 3rd at bat now. He's 0 for 2. And make that 1 for 3 as he singles. So Terwilliger standing on at first. Jackson now comes up. Terwilliger just the 2nd Cub to get a hit this afternoon. And Jackson skies that one to Snider. Easy play, 2 away. As Frank Bumholtz, the only other Cub with a hit today. And he drives this one to center for extra bases. As Terwilliger going to be waved around, we're going to just play it safely, stop Bumholtz from advancing to 3rd. And he's in there with a stand-up double, an RBI stand-up double, and the Cubs cut into the lead as it's now 3-1 Dodgers. Hank Sauer now stands in. Pitch on the way to Sauer, and that's lined sharply at Reese. Inning over, but the Cubs cut into the lead, make it 3-1. As Campanella, Cox, and Erskine due up for the Dodgers here in the 7th, and Campy leads it off with a leadoff single. So he'll stand over at first base, and Billy Cox will dig in. Cox hitting just 125 against lefties so far in our replay. And he's going to put one down here. It's a good bunt, chance to beat it out. And he's in there. So Billy Cox throws down a bunt to just sacrifice himself, but it's such a good bunt, he is able to beat it out. So Cox stands on at first, Campanella on at second. And we had been thinking about pinch hitting for Erskine. And we still will. As we'll take a look at the bench here. And we're going to bring in, going down the list here to check and see. We're going to go with Edwards to pinch hit. So Bruce Edwards pinch hits. This is his 21st at bat. He's yet to have a hit, but he hits lefties okay. So Edwards stands in. Pitch on the way. That's a fly ball to right. Campanella has no opportunity to move up. So Edwards does not get the job done. Runners still stand on at first and second for Tommy Brown. As Brown digs in. Pitch on the way. Force play at third. Campanella's out on the fielder's choice. No, I'm sorry. They got Cox out at second. Campanella takes third. So Brown stands on at second. Or at first. He's going to look to steal second. He was thrown out once. Can't get the jump here. It'll be up to Wee Reese to pick up an insurance run as the Cubs have 10 hits today. Or I'm sorry, the Dodgers have 10 hits today. As Reese digs in. That's the 11th hit. Campanella scores. Brown going to be waved around, trying to go first to third. Throws going to third, and Brown is tagged out. But they do get the RBI single from Reese, and they extend the lead back to 4-1. As Erskine needs to be replaced on the mound. And the Cubs have righty, lefty, lefty, righty, and then the pitcher's spot. So we'll take a look, and we will go with Clyde King to throw. And we'll also go with Thompson. We'll bring Thompson in to play left. As we enter the bottom of the 7th, Dodgers take a 4-1 lead into the inning. They've got 11 hits, Cubs just 3. Clyde King's on. He's thrown 14 innings so far in our replays, pitched to the tune of a 3.77 ERA. Pitch on the way, and he pops up to Reese, one away. It'll be DeFondy. Fondy walks. He'll stand on at first. Smokey Burgess now. Ground ball to second. It'll be a double play as Robinson on to Reese and then Hodges. Inning over. Clyde King works around the one-out walk, and the Dodgers take a 4-1 lead into the 8th. As Snyder steps in. Pitch on the way. Snyder flies to right. Bumholtz there. One out. Robinson now is 4th at bat. 1 for 3. Make that 1 for 4 as he grounds out to Cusick at short. And it'll be Hodges now. Hodges grounds to Jackson at third. 5-3 putout. Inning over as the Dodgers go down in order. And it'll be Cusick, the pitcher spot, and Terwilliger due up for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 8th. They need 3. Or they're looking for 3. And that's a good way to start as Cusick doubles off King here in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody out. Minner stands in, or he's due up. We'll see if he hits. He does not. And Phil Cavaretta again going to bring himself in as a pinch hitter. Player manager. We'll see what he does. Cavaretta pops up to Reese at short. So 1 out. Top of the lineup up now for the Cubs. And it's Terwilliger. And he's got a double. It's a 4-2 ball game. And we're going to go to the bullpen. And would like to go to the closer, Clem Labine. But not with that pitcher spot up. So we've got righty, lefty, righty, righty. So we'll go with Ralph Branca. As Branca's thrown 12 innings in our replay. Pretty good against righties, right? He's got 3 of the next 4 batters are righties, so see if Branca can get out of it. 1 out, 1 run in. Terwilliger stands on at second. The tying run is Jackson, who's at the plate. Pitch on the way. He strikes out. Now it'll be Bumholtz, the lefty, with first base open. We'll walk him, and it'll be Sauer. Pitch on the way to Sauer. Ground out to short. Branca gets out of the inning. Cubs do get 1 back, and they cut the lead, and, well, they make it a 2-run lead as the Dodgers take a 4-2 lead into the 9th. It'll be Furillo, Campanella, and Cox to do up here in the 9th for the Dodgers as Furillo flies to left. That's Sauer, an easy play. Campanella now with 1 out. And he smokes this one at the second baseman. Terwilliger, pretty rangy, but he's got some errors on the card. As he does get to the baseball. But he can't field it cleanly. And it goes off his glove. A 1-base error as Campanella gets on. Cox stands on at first. He had that bunt single back in the 7th. As we failed to mention that Dutch Leonard came into the game for the Cubs to start the 9th. So Leonard is on, pitching against Cox. Pitch on the way. And he walks Cox. And that will allow us to pinch hit for the pitcher, as Branca will come out of the game. Cal Abrams comes in. Abrams hitting 263 in the replay. And the pitch on the way. Abrams flies to center, not deep enough to advance Campanella, and it'll be Don Thompson. Pitch on the way to Thompson. Ground out to second. Inning over. So the Dodgers will cling to a 2-run lead as they turn things over to the closer, Clem Labine, here in the 9th. So Labine is on. He'll face Pafko, Fondy, and Burgess. Pitch on the way to Pafko. Ground out to second. 1 away. Fondy now. Single. So that brings the tying run to the plate. Fondy stands on at first. Burgess is up. And Hal Jeffcoat will be brought in to pinch hit. So it'll be Jeffcoat against Labine with 1 out here in the 9th. Jeffcoat is the tying run. And it's a ground ball to Cox, who throws it to second for the fielder's choice. So Fondy's retired. Jeffcoat's on at first. It'll be up to Jack Cusick. And instead, Rube Walker will be brought in to pinch hit. Walker hitting 297 in the replay. Very overachieving numbers based on what he had in 1951, as he hit just 238. So Labine settles in, checks Jeffcoat at first, pitch on the way. And he hits this one to right. Going to make Furillo run. He's going to get to it with that 1 rating in the right field. And he only makes 5 errors, or he's got an E rating of 5, so it should end the ball game. And it does. Furillo underneath it. Rube Walker flies out to right, and the Dodgers win again as they take this one this afternoon from Wrigley Field by a score of 4-2, and they avenge that 1951 drubbing 14-4 by winning today in our replay, again by a score of 4-2. Taking a look at the pitching lines, Erskine picks up his 2nd win in our replay. 3 hits, 1 run. It was an earned run. He struck out 3, walked 2. Clyde King, Ralph Branca both pick up holds as King surrendered the 1 run. Branca came in and cleaned up King's mess in the 8th. And then Labine came on for the 9th, gave up the 1 hit, worked around it, picks up his 4th save. Paul Menner on the other side of things struggled to miss bats today as he surrendered 11 hits, 4 runs, all of which were earned, struck out just 2, and walked 1. Again, the Dodgers back in the win column. They continue to be in the win column, as I believe that's 9 or 10 straight that the Dodgers have pulled off here in our replay. And again, they defeat the Cubs by a score of 4-2. They finish out the 3-game set tomorrow as they visit the Cubs one more time in the series, and they look for the series sweep. Until next time, again, the Dodgers in the win column. Final score 4-2. So long, everybody.